It has been over a month, and the parents in Oyo have still not heard the voices of their children. Yet they continue to hope, pray, and hold on to faith. Husbands and wives remain steadfast, looking up to God, because who else can they trust to perform this miracle? Now, despite the directive from the higher courts, the lower courts chose to proceed otherwise. In moments like this, questions linger, hearts grow heavier, and hope becomes the only refuge for those waiting. For 4 long years, the world has waited and nations have dreamed. Heroes have risen, legends have returned from the streets of Lagos, Abuja, and of course, Anambra. Good morning and welcome to today on ACNN, reaching you live from the ACNNTV studio here in the city center, Abuja. I am Raphael Ojaokomo, aka El Rafiki, your anchor for today. And of course, joining me virtually, no, I don't do this alone. I'm all the way from Delta State, is the one I love to call the chef. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Comrade Abraham Soko, my guy. Alpha.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Rafiki. It's a pleasure to. How are you doing?
How's the weather? How's the weather in Delta State?
The weather is good. Good morning to our viewers.
Good morning. So, first we'll be looking at some of these headlines that came in very early this morning. So, of course, like I said, we'll kickstart this program with the headline that came early this morning. Back viewers, at first on the papers this morning, we'll be looking at the Punch newspaper, the headlines on the Punch newspaper this morning. And of course, you can see the big image there. Ekiti decides. Yeah, Ekiti decides. Security forces mobilize as INEC moves sensitive materials today. Security forces mobilize as INEC moves sensitive materials today. Police activate election operations, 10,000 NSCDC personnel deployed. Appeal courts inaugurate election tribunal. You can find these on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. And at the top there, you have First Hold Co. closes 45 billion naira private placements at 44.06 naira, further strengthening First Bank's capital base. Of course, you have the picture of Otedola there. For details on that, you might want to check on page 23. I also have here opposition lawmakers berate Tinubu over worsening insecurity hardship. Details on that on page 26. And last but not the least, that I'll be taking on the Punch newspaper, ICPC defends El Rufai detention as group hires US lobbyist. ICPC defends El Rufai detention as group hires US lobbyist. You can find that on page 7 on the Punch newspaper. Next, we move to the Vanguard. The Vanguard with a slogan towards a better life for the people. The big image there, Jackpa. And of course, we all know what Jackpa means. Only 55,000 doctors left to treat 220 million Nigerians. 16,000 doctors emigrated in 5 years. Nigeria's mental health crisis worsening, ARD. FNPH, Yaba. Now this one says 85% of Nigerians with mental disorders lack treatment access. You see an image here of the election materials being moved. The Nigerian Air Force lifting these materials. At the top there, we have UK courts acquit ex-petroleum minister Alison Madueke of bribery. Details on that on page 7. Next to it, Warri delineation, our position going forward. This is coming from the Ijo Urubu leaders. I'm sure Comrade Soko, this one will interest him. Details on that you'll find on page 12 of the Vanguard newspaper. Then last but not the least, on the page here that I'll be taking, my take on Kwara's next governor. My take on Kwara's next governor. This is coming from the former Information Commissioner. You can find those on page 32 of the Vanguard newspaper. The next paper in front of us this morning is The Guardian. The Guardian newspaper with the slogan, Conscience nurtured by truth. Conscience nurtured by truth. The Guardian. The big image there. The big image there, conflicting court orders, weak oversight raise credibility doubts. Conflicting court orders, weak oversight raise credibility doubts. Underneath we have opposition reps asked Tinubu to shelve politicking and address national crisis. Opposition reps asked Tinubu to shelve politicking to address national crisis. At the top we have FG shuns IMF, rules out fuel telecom taxes. FG shun IMF, rules out fuel telecom taxes. Details on that you find on page 3. And the last I'll be taking on the Guardian newspaper this morning, NAF airlift sensitive electoral materials for Ekiti, gubernatorial polls, orders. NAF, that's the Nigerian Air Force, airlift sensitive electoral materials for Ekiti, gubernatorial polls, orders. Details on that on page 5. So to get all this gist and all this news, you might want to get these newspapers and read out the stories of that's in them to get the full stories. But first, I'll be, of course, talking to my guest this morning. I have with me Comrade Abraham Soko, and in one of the headlines that I just read out, which says conflicting court orders, weak oversight, raise credibility doubts. Comrade Soko, this question goes to you. I was listening to a show yesterday, and one of the guests said, if we're beginning to have issues where the higher court says don't do this, and the lower court went ahead to do it, doesn't that tell us that we cannot be sure to trust that the election come next year will be credible and that our votes would eventually count if these two courts are going back and forth? Comrade Soko, I don't know, what's your take on that?
Okay. Thank you very, very much, Mr. Raphael. Good morning once again. What I would want to say on this is that I don't think that the workings of the judiciary has anything to do with how credible our police, because in as much as, yes, the judiciary is popularly referred to as the last hope of the common
man.
Yes, of the common man. That's the popular saying. But what I would want to say in this case is that INEC is an independent commission, as the name says, and I think that the judiciary is also an organization that is a arm of government that is also supposed to work independently. So I don't think, yes, I understand where you're coming from with the conflicting orders, but what I would want to say at this point is that the judiciary needs to do better. They need to put their act together, because if Nigerians have confidence in the judiciary, it's going to go a long way in assuring them that there's hope for the common man, as I have said. But in terms of INEC, I think INEC can give us a credible poll, irrespective of the judiciary. Thank you, Mr.
But I'm still staying with you, Comrade Soko. Don't you think that this body, when I mean this body, I'm talking about INEC now. Don't you think it is being compromised with these conflicting orders? To who would they be listening to right now on that day?
No. Okay, no,
Carry
I
on.
don't think so. Let me just give the viewers a background of what is happening. I think we're speaking to the issue right now is the registering of
the
some
four parties,
including ADC Accord Party. And I think an organization approached the court, I think the High Court, or the Federal High Court in Abuja, and the organization stated that, as the plaintiff in this case, stated that these parties did not meet a certain criteria. And the Federal High Court, I think they heard the prayers of these plaintiffs, of these individuals, and they ordered that these parties should be deregistered. INEC, seeing that, okay, INEC now appealed, they now went to the appeal court and also issued a stay of execution. I think their prayers involved saying that the status quo should remain. And I think the appeal court has gone ahead and ordered the High Court to issue the stay of execution. So what I would want to say at this point is that INEC, in its own part, I think they have not done wrong in approaching the judiciary. And I think, for me, I think it gives a neutral point of view, because a lot of individuals, for me, as an APC member, I would say, why is INEC getting involved? Well, INEC has not done anything wrong by going to the Court of Appeal and praying for a stay of execution. So I think,
sorry to cut you, Comrade Soko. When you say you don't think INEC has done anything wrong, I stand to be corrected. Something was meant to be done after the last election, that so when some parties don't get to a particular percentage, they were meant to be deregistered at that point in time by the 2023 elections. But INEC did not do that, and now we are here, we are where we are today. Don't you think if they had done that long ago by cutting off those parties or deregistering those parties, would really make up to those percentage for them to still remain as registered parties, we'll not find ourselves where we are today?
Okay, thank you very, very much. But in the case you cited, I don't think that anybody went to court and anybody approached the court. But in this particular case, a group, as I said, have approached the court saying that these four parties should be deregistered. INEC cannot just go and start deregistering a party, especially when there is no pending case. Yes, in as much as you should meet a certain criteria for you to be a party, I think INEC on its own part needs to be consistent, because, for instance, you have made a very good point. Why did they not deregister the parties earlier, like you said, prior to 2023 election? But what I would want to say is that it is not even INEC that is even pushing for the deregistration of these parties. It is a group. A group has sued the Federal High Court, I think in Abuja, asking these parties to be deregistered. And INEC is, in its own wisdom, has gone to appeal to squash out that and at least issue a stay of execution at this point in time, Mr. Raphael.
Okay, thank you very much, Comrade Soko. And viewers, please do not forget that you can join in on this show using the numbers on your screen to reach out and send us your own view. And you can also use all our social media platforms to get us your comments. Let us read your comments and know how you feel about these takes. While I was talking to Comrade Abraham Soko, my friend and brother joined me all the way from Delta State. Honorable Victor Okupa is a political and sport analyst. Honorable Victor.
Good morning, my brother.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
It's good to have you again.
Late, please.
It's good to have you again. We also have on the show this morning Dr. Israel Okudaye, who is a professional Nigerian referee, also joining us on the show today. Dr. Israel.
Good morning.
Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Good morning. The one who never holds back.
Okay, enjoying the World
Cup. Okay, I'll stay with you, Dr. Israel. Seeing what is happening with the the high courts are starting to be corrected, and the appeal courts, one giving a judgment, the other one counter, I don't know what to call it, countering the judgments. Do you think, do you trust the process going forward when it comes to the next election next year?
For me, Raphael, like I said, I only see my opinion. The answer is I don't trust the process. INEC will come up with an illegal. See, irregularities of all these things will also surface during the election. How can you come today, tomorrow is another thing? Comrade Soko said something. They will have done something. You said something that they will have been deregistered some party before. So from that angle, you know that when it comes to election, things will go wrong. So I believe that the credibility of this election I don't guarantee any credible election in Nigeria. I have never guaranteed it, and I know that it's not this time.
Thank you very much.
Even if I'm an APC member, I know that the election will not be credible, please.
Oh,
that's my own say about it.
I like how he said it's his own opinion concerning the elections come next year. Honorable, this is your jurisdiction. This is where I believe you thrive. Looking at this whole thing, who are we to hold accountable? Is it the courts? Is it INEC?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Raf. I strongly believe that the judiciary have a lot to do moving forward in this country, not just towards INEC. We are having an arm of government that is in a total chaos, that have an arm of government that's supposed to be the law, but they lack everything to protect the law that they are supposed to be. When we talk about the judiciary, it's supposed to be an arm of government that exists independently to the executive and to every other form of government. But what we see today is a mockery of what judiciary should be, or of what the judiciary stands for. INEC is also a tool in the hands of the executive right now, because you can't say that there's a court, that a higher court, there's a case, a higher court have told you to stay, then you go forward to make a judgment on it. And again, let's talk about what you said, and Mr. Soko said respectfully. If there was a constitution that said that if a party does not meet up requirements for after an election, then it should be deregistered. Those things should take effect immediately after an election have been conducted. And you are going further to say that ADC should be deregistered. We forgot that ADC had a candidate in the National Assembly. How did he win his election if he didn't get 25% of the vote? It's a presidential vote, though. But if he goes in other subsections of those law, you see that in other elections, if they don't have candidates, they don't perform well, it should be deregistered. This didn't take effect soon. The National Association of Former Legislators took them to court, and also a party, Accord, took those same people to the appeal court, and appeal court said, stay, don't give judgment yet. And the judiciary went ahead to the Federal High Court, who is a lower court to the appeal court. So it's a shame on what we are seeing happening in the judiciary. And INEC is a tool. Am I looking forward to a credible election? Have we ever had a credible election first to look forward to getting one? We have not. I can tell you for free. I used to tell people, did PVC get the presidential candidate to be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Can we say it was our PVC? It was the vote? So have we had a credible election before? We need overhauling of our system, not just of our system, of our people, our mindsets, because these politicians are being fueled by the demands of our people. The cost of running election in Nigeria, will make us to have a corrupt system, all from the grassroots to the up. So we need a complete overhauling. If we must demand a credible election, we, the people, must be credible. Our society must be credible. The processes must be credible. Primaries right now are not credible. Some parties have not released their primary result till now because they are going for highest bidder and the rest. We all know these things. So we have not gotten a credible process to select candidates. We are talking about credible general election. The list of it to select credible people, we didn't do it well. We have not. Till today, some people does not know either they are candidate or not. They are waiting for their party at the highest level to manipulate it and give candidacy. And it's across all parties as we speak. So am I looking forward to a credible election? To be honest with you, no, because we have not had a credible process to bring about a credible candidate first of all.
Thank you very much, Honorable. My viewers, I don't know if you are also looking forward to a credible election, what you think next year's election is going to be. Let us know your thoughts by using the numbers on your screen, calling on the show, and of course also using the social media handles also showing on the screen. And we'll move on to the next one, which is a very major issue. 55,000 doctors is what we have right now in Nigeria to handle over 220 million Nigerians. Now I understand why when you go to the hospital, you even barely see some of these doctors. Because it is recorded that over 16,000 doctors left Nigeria in the past 5 years. I remember a particular video of doctors being enlisted to Saudi Arabia, and you needed to see how doctors trooped out to go and register to move out of Nigeria, maybe for something better. I'll be talking to my guest, but I'll start with the Honorable and ask, what can we do to keep our medical practitioners? Because people are looking at just doctors. We have also nurses and maybe some medical lab scientists and some, whatever you want to call it. They are all leaving the country and the number is depleting by the day. As it is right now, what we have is 55,000 doctors for 220 million Nigerians. Honorable, how did we get here?
Mr. Raf,
Yeah.
when you brought up this matter, I was in fact I got tired. I saw a documentary where in the 70s thereabout, where the kings of Saudi Arabia was coming to Ibadan.
Yes,
for treatments and yes, UCH and the rest of them. I'm a medical person. I'm a health practitioner. My wife is a medical doctor, so I can tell a little about how this system is, And to be honest, we have good universities. We have good universities. We are producing
doctors.
If
we don't have good universities training good doctors, these people abroad will not poach our people.
Yes, they won't approach them. We are training these people. We are producing the doctors, but we don't have the facility and the capacity to keep them. Not that we don't have them. We don't have the government structures, the government capacity to keep them. That is the problem. We are on that. Okay, just imagine the ratio. 55,000 doctors to
220 million Nigerians.
Just imagine the ratio. My wife was doing her practice, her residency in pediatrics. At the point, she have to leave pediatrics and go to another department so that I can even have my wife and she can also be a mother to our children. I'm telling you the simple truth. Because she can go to work, stay over days. She won't come home. Even when she's at home, they are calling her. She was not at a point. The stress can be mental breakdown.
Yeah.
That we need to improve. And if we say we need to improve, I'm not going to say only the government, because the government, we always speak about how the people is. We need to improve in our governance. I posted something on my Facebook yesterday. If politics is local, you cannot say politics is local when election is coming. Governance should be local. Governance should be local. And my boss, we were talking yesterday, I was telling me that if we have 520 something wards in Delta State, if we make all the councillors to be responsible to all the health centers in their various wards, it will give the face a big facelift medically. Get doctors, get nurses. We're talking about doctor, nurses. Like you said, what of the lab scientists? What of the pharmacists? What of the social workers, the environmental workers? They all put up to form the medical team. We need to improve our government, please. Our governors, our local government chairmen, our councillors, our representatives. We need to do better. We need to do better. Our hospitals. Let me tell you, I'm in Delta State. I don't want to mention, but I can currently tell you right now. I stay in one. Even my wife today, my wife has to borrow water from my neighbor to bathe this morning to live. She's in the quarters. I don't want to mention the hospital for the sake of, she's in the quarters. I have to borrow water today. No light for days now in the hospital. I'm telling you the simple truth in Delta State here. So, I know the Commissioner of Health is doing a lot. I know him. But we need to, government have to step in, please.
Thank
You
you
can't
very
go to abroad to take treatment while your people cannot take treatment here.
Yeah.
And again, sorry, sir. Sorry, Mr. Rap, sorry. Our community leaders should do better. If you have a health facility in your community, make sure to demand that the facility in your place are working. Because most of the government officials are working with the community leaders. The community leaders should do better. Everybody should be involved in the matter of health, so that it will not get every one of us woked. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Comrade Soko, I'll come to you. You're one who always speaks about everything doesn't always should not always be about the president. People in other spheres should also handle wherever it is that's been placed in their care. I saw a clip I think last week or thereabouts of a supposed health center in Delta State that has been budgeted for. In fact, it's supposedly expected to be in operation, only for the clip to be showing what's it called, an uncompleted building surrounded by bushes or thereabouts. And the question that begs to ask is this: where is the local government? Let's say we have a governor of the state. Where is the local? Where are the commissioners? Commissioner Soko, what do we need to do to make these things work?
Okay, thank you very, very much. I would say that most of the problems we have in this country, they are what are called legacy problems. They are problems that have barely could work before, because even the own local government workers, they used to go 8 months, 9 months before even receiving their salaries. So here we didn't even get the money to take care of their own local healthcare centers. So that's why I'm very, very happy that at least the president is making efforts to give autonomy to local governments, and very soon they are going to start receiving funding directly. But I'm even digressing. The problem we're having right now in our medical, in our National Medical Association, our medical practitioners, with our medical practitioners right now, is a problem of poor remunerations, mostly because you don't make the work attractive for them. When you don't make it attractive for them, you spend years and years learning to be a medical practitioner, learning to be a doctor, the process it takes to become a nurse. I think it is more grueling, it's more difficult than any other field, with due respect to the other field. So after having gone through this process, you come and you are getting very, very poor remunerations. You tend to not try to calculate that my work does not match this stress, and that's the reason they are tending to want to find greener pastures. But recently, I would say that the situation is becoming better. Yes, Honorable Cooper painted a very, very dire scenario in his place, but I think it's becoming a little bit better, in the sense that at least some state government beginning to step in. I think a few months ago, the governor of Imo State increased the salaries of doctors in that state, I think, to more than 500,000. And I think even in my state, in recent times, to reduce the workload, the governor has advertised for about 700 new medical practitioners to be employed. They are building a new state-of-the-art facility in Osubi. I think the General Hospital in Osubi. Then the one for Central Hospital in Warri, I think it got MRI recently, MRI machines and some equipment recently. But that is not to say that we are there yet. We actually need to do more.
Comrade Soko, if we are building these new ones like you're rightfully mentioning, don't you think the ones that are already on ground should be, should be brought back to life? Because if we have the ones that are already on ground brought back to life, it will help reduce the stress of the new ones. Because if one problem that we all know that Nigeria usually finds itself in is the problem of maintenance. We can build anything, we can get you anything in this world, but keeping those things running is the problem. The question is this: instead of getting those new ones, what happens to the ones that we have before? Can't we bring them back to life? At least we have 55 doctors catering for 220 million Nigerians, plus or minus. Now, another angle I want to look at it for, don't you think? What am I saying? This is not don't you think. We all know that the reason why most of these people jackpot, like we fondly call it, is remuneration. It's the take home. The take home, what they get when they go out there and what they get when they're here. I remember during the lockdown period when these doctors were faced, battling firsthand with the coronavirus. And I had some few of my friends who were in the forefront of this battle. And what was their hazard allowance? 5,000 naira. 5,000 naira hazard allowance for something that would take you off any day. And then the lawmakers in their what's it called? In their what they were getting. Some of them were getting millions in terms of hazard allowance inside, and they were indoors. Why the people in the forefront are getting 5,000 naira? Don't you think we need to up our game when it comes to the allowances so that they don't even look outside?
You are absolutely correct, Mr. Raphael. What I would want to say is that the problem we are facing right now in our medical sector, in our health sector, it's not a new problem. Let me say something now. One of the presidential candidates is contested last in 2023 is contesting again. When he was the governor of the state, doctors were on strike for 13 months. This is not to shade him. This is just to show that this is a problem that did not start today. And the reason why doctors were on strike was due to popping. So this is not a new problem. My niece now, I think she has entered university. When they gave birth to her, we had to go and bring generator from the house to do, I think, a C-section, a cesarean operation. We had to go and bring our own generator to the general hospital. So the problems we are having in our medical field, it is not a problem. That's why I always like to call it a legacy problem. And the reason why one of the reasons why I supported this subsidy removal, yes, I understand that it's going to cause temporary hardship. Most of the governors, most of the local governments were complaining that they were not getting enough to revitalize health, to revitalize education. So I said, okay, if that's the problem, the subsidy can go. Now the subsidy has gone. Most of these state governors are getting much more money, but they tend to be doing what I would call white elephant projects. They are building airports, they are building flyovers, and I think that they really need to do more. They really need to put much more into the welfare, into the remunerations of these medical practitioners. Because to be honest, if the pay is attractive, I don't think that anybody would want to japa. To be honest, the grass is not always greener at the other side.
Oh, wow.
There are a lot of doctors traveled and they are not been able to find their feet. So I think that we really need to put our ass in order. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Comrade Soko. You know, when you say the grass is not always greener outside, the man that is trying to japa will not listen to you. Anyways, I know you all are wondering where he disappeared to, and now I've been able to fly this plane all by myself. Don't worry, the engine was having some kind of problem and it was behind trying to fix the engine. And viewers, I have with me in the studio, of course, my tested, trusted, and tried and co-pilot, Godwin Ojiri. He has not been smiling as Comrade Soko is speaking. Good morning. Dr.
Good morning,
Israel,
Mr. Godwin.
Honorable.
Comrade, and like you said, it's smiling just at the backstage. I wouldn't say I have a response for him this morning.
Okay, no response.
No response this morning.
Before we go on the short break, I want to quickly bring up Dr. Israel on this one. And the question is a scholar. And recently some schools increased their tuition because the government have said they are not able to cater for some of these things, that the schools should do it themselves. And we could hear the honorable say, where the wife works, they have to go and look for water elsewhere to bathe, and so on and so forth. And we also on the social media some months back of how some students in the nursing school thereabouts came online to say they are not getting the basic amenities that they should get, even though they've paid these fees that they have charged them for. As a scholar, Dr. Israel, what do you think we need to do to get things right? At what level do we need to do these things to get it right?
Speaking from the question is that they have answered giving so many answers to the question. The problem of all this boils down to government and bad governance and administration. If we follow proper administration in the university environment or in every sector, it will work properly. We have failed governments that have an administration.
Okay, I think
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you. Please go on.
I said, if we have proper administration and good governance, it will go well. In every sector in Nigeria, we are not paid well. Government generated money and it does not get to any institution. So things will not work well. But that we are providing solution. Let me give you one. Let me tell you one thing. All the projects we do, from all the research we carry out in the university, they are not using it for anything. No government use it to do anything. We end up writing and saying so many things, and no solution is done because anybody that gets to the seat administers the way he or she wants. I say it every day. The proper administration is the problem of Nigeria. Where there is proper administration, things will go very well. Things will go orderly. Corruption will reduce. Planning and development will come. So until we go for proper administration, nothing will happen in this country. We'll be complaining, nurses are this. Recently, the governor of Delta State increased the allowances of doctors in order to encourage them. Poverty is increasing every day. The government are not even doing anything about it. So the next thing you will see is they are self-centered and doing their thing. But if there is proper administration and it will bring about good governance. And that is the only way we can go. Whether we want to say it anywhere, the administration is very poor.
Thank you very much.
So until administration is bad.
Thank you very much, Dr. Israel. Before we go on a break, just on the lighter mode, when Comrade Soko was speaking, we talked about White Elephant Project. There's a particular state in the southeast that the former governor built an airport, and till date, I don't think any plane has flown into that airport or out of that airport. Viewers, please stay tuned as we go on this very, very short. Welcome back, viewers. You're still on today on ACNN, and of course, we are going to be talking about the world of sports. We are live and direct. We've waited for this for how long? To the beaches of Rio, of course, from the cities of Europe to the deserts of the Middle East. One game unites billions. You and I know what that game is. Round one delivered shock. Germany welcomed Curacao with 7. It delivered statements. England is celebrating with Kane leading the line. Argentina dominated and Messi remained merciless. France is marching forward with the boy wonder Mbappe, while that Portuguese team seems to be working against Ronaldo. Of course, what about our African brothers? Ghana and Ivory Coast shone brighter. Cape Verde announced themselves to the world, and Morocco, Egypt, and DR Congo held their own. But for Senegal, Algeria, South Africa, and Tunisia, I say try again later. And it reminded us that in the World Cup, there are no guarantees. The giants have roared, the underdogs have beaten back, the battle lines have been drawn. Now, as the journey to football immortality continues, who will rise, who will fall, and we will write their name into the World Cup history. This is the FIFA World Cup 2026. This is the round one, and the world is watching. Godwin,
Yeah.
before I move anywhere, can you say that the World Cup has lived to its billing?
Yes, it has truly, because from the opening ceremony, it has been a whole lot of electrifying moments that did not fall short of expectation. Outside the fact that a whole lot of do I use the word hookup now, happened as regards to the reception of
players and fans.
You get, but the actions, the momentum, everything have been high. All the whole team came on board with the right spirit, the right game
Energy.
plan, and the rest of it all. It is one that we all anticipated for, and I tell you the truth, they have not fall short of my own expectations. Indeed.
And I want to believe the same with our viewers. First, we'll be taking the headlines that came in early this morning from the Punch Sports Extra this morning. Viewers, please remember that you can join on this show. I'm using the number showing on your screen. And of course, also sending us your comments, your messages via all our social media platforms. But first, we go to the Punch Sports Extra. Eagles must move on from World Cup miss. Eagles must move on from World Cup miss. And this is coming from Victor Osimhen. Joshua joins Mourinho, Lewandowski at CAA Sports. Joshua joins Mourinho, Lewandowski at CAA Sports. To get details of that, we also look into page 8 of the Punch Sports Extra. Chelsea, Arsenal lead Fernandes chase. The new boy in the Super Eagles, Fernandes, is being touted by Chelsea and Arsenal. At the top right there, additional doubtful for Commonwealth Games. Additional doubtful for Commonwealth Games. And then below that, Enekwechi sets season's best, wins Ostrava meets silver. Enekwechi, who is Nigeria's shot putter, sets season best, wins Ostrava meets silver. Beside that story, we have Atletico insists on 500 million euros for Alvarez. Atletico insists on 500 million euros for Alvarez. Underneath that, we have Spurs to smash transfer record for Tonali. Spurs to smash transfer record for Tonali. And we have Arsenal dismiss Kone links. Arsenal dismiss Kone links. And on the last part there, we have Chelsea interested in DIA. Chelsea interested in DIA. Then we'll go to the World Cup stories. The big image there. History favors Messi, Argentina for World Cup triumph. History favors Messi, Argentina for World Cup triumph. And we have some stories under US waives visa fees for Vozinha's mother. US waives visa fees for Vozinha's mother. That's the goalkeeper of Cabo Verde, who did wonderfully well. As a matter of fact, he went to the World Cup with less than 50-something thousand fans. And after that first game, his fan base grew into millions on social media. Into millions. Maybe I'll go and play football. Look, I don't even think mine is up to 1,000, 2,000. Maybe when I do something, something will happen. We have there, Canada's David hails Kanu as childhood hero. Canada's David hails Kanu as childhood hero. Algeria replaced Nigeria as Messi's victim. These people should be careful. Algeria replaced Nigeria as Messi's victim. Of course, we know every World Cup Nigeria plays. We're always playing against Argentina, except I think one of the World Cup we played in 1998 that we didn't play Argentina. And the last but not the least, on the front page here, we have Wissa earns Leopards' first ever World Cup points. Wissa earns Leopards' first ever World Cup points. Of course, DR Congo drew against Portugal last night to earn DR Congo their first ever points in the World Cup. And of course, we have today's fixtures. The Czechia will be playing against South Africa by 5 p.m. Switzerland will be playing against Bosnia by 8 p.m. and Canada will be squaring it up against Qatar by 11 p.m. All these and more you can find on Porch Sport Extra. Please grab your copy and you get all the gist that is inside. Now we'll be going to our major story. I don't know if my producer is ready. We'll play the video and then we'll take it up from there.
We've expanded to 48 countries. Nigeria is not going. What are some of the, and this is, the second time, two consecutive World Cups that we're going to be missing. The giant of Africa. This is where football, we're the football king of Africa. Why are we not going? What lessons can we learn? Because it's too late now.
When you say that, it really gets into me, because it's one of my saddest moments where we didn't qualify when I was president, and not qualifying again, it is a whole lot in terms of commercial benefit and otherwise country's image, and the number of Nigerians in these countries, Canada, America, but I believe the NFF right now, if you see what they are doing, they've been playing matches consistently. And aside yesterday's game, which also did some display of good football artistry, they've occupied themselves, and that is a turning point. Now, the bedrock of any football federation is one, your national team, your male national team. And I believe that we are getting it right. We have a coach, we have a football, we have a team, and we have young, enterprising players. Then watch out for this Joanna. I personally did a review on him. The Joanna boy that is going to Brighton, that's the future. The NFF is monitoring him, they're talking to him. So the future looks very good. And I want to believe we're not just going to qualify for the next World Cup, that I can say. We're going to make a very prominent presence. The next Nations Cup is us, by God's grace. So because if everything goes the way they plan, if we work together, I work with them, and I don't have any regret. I can call the players, I talk to them. I don't wait. To me, I'm the life president of Nigerian Football Federation. So I can also speak. I'm a very critical stakeholder. Whatever will make this country a greater country is what I stand for any day. So the NFF president cannot say, no, he cannot tell me that. I will work for this country. But the truth is, you don't need to be in NFF to assist the NFF.
Okay. How about the change?
Godwin, you heard that. I'm sure viewers also heard that. I'm going to cite a case. I remember the situation of the Nigerian Football Supporters Club when it was time for, of course, Rafiu Ladipo to move on. Election was done. Somebody emerged. From nowhere, we now heard that he is the Nigerian Football Supporters Club President International. So I think Nigerians don't know how to move on from a particular position. When they leave an office, they still want to have a strong say in what happens in that office. And we see it happening in our football. Even with the legends, we call them legends because we believe that they've paid their dues, the 94 sets. But you can still see some of them in the affairs of our football today, be it negative, be it positive. But what do you make of that for him to come and say, I am the NFF president for life? We've had presidents before him. We have Gusau now after him. So it appears that he's not ready to let go.
All right. Thank you so much, Raf. Immediately he said that, you would notice, I was like, what does he really mean by being
president for life?
President? So I quickly did a research on that, and I think that is a term that is usually said within the sporting administration, especially when it comes to football, where a former president is considered honorary to be a life president. But that is to say, every other president that have served before him would also be accorded that same as life president, not president for life. Let's get the context correct. As life president, you understand. But that supposedly does not confer executive powers on him. It would only be, say, on advisory basis. If you give your advice, they see, they pick it. But in terms of Amaju Pinnick now, the thing is that this Nigerian factor.
He sounds
yes.
He
That
sounds
is where
so
I'm
sure
going.
that he's in control.
That is where I'm going, because this Nigerian factor would always come in after I'm being interviewed, and on the context he was saying, he said, "I am like." After I'm a life president,
I can talk to them anytime I want to talk to them. I can call them.
You get. Now, this is a Nigerian thing, but administratively, he doesn't wield that kind of power that he thinks. His power has where it ends. So being a life president, for me, I would say is just an honorary title. But given the fact that you are making such assertion in a Nigerian soil, you know the way our people blow things out of context. And please not just forgive him.
Thank you, Godwin. I'll leave you for now because I want to go to Honorable. Honorable, when someone comes and makes such claims, don't you think we are now beginning to see the what we call in our local parlance monkey hand inside soup? When we're looking at I was watching one interview one time with the NFF technical director, Augustine Iguavon, who is also one of the legends, set of 94. When he was talking about Iheanacho just got back from injury that period, Umar Sadiq also just got back from injury, and Nigeria was going to play a game, and they were both listed. These are guys that have not played football for about 2-3 months, and they were both listed. While we had players who have been playing week in, week out, were not called. And then the question was asked, and Iguavon said, it would be unfair not to call them. And I start asking myself, do we now call people on emotions or on form to give results when it involves the Super Eagles? And we're talking about qualifiers for the Nations Cup and the World Cup. So, Honorable, don't you think coming with a statement like that now shows where some of our problems stems from? Because if you notice, recently, Eric Schell has created an environment where when the guys are in camp, you hardly find them on social media postings and doing all those sort of things. But before we had them, I think he has come to maybe put his foot on the ground to say, my players will no longer be involved in all this kind of thing. But we all know that when it comes to team selection, some people somewhere have a hand in it. Honorable, don't you think this is a clear indication of those that are behind these things?
For me, I think we are blowing it out of context, because if you follow it up, the man was speaking from the point of being concerned. This time they didn't make it to the World Cup. This time they didn't make it. There's a big blow for the nation. And again, in Nigeria we have a culture, Even when you want to support Arsenal, for example, now Mr. Godwin say Arsenal for life. What are you benefiting from Arsenal? What is your contribution to Arsenal? Just that you are fanning, So we can say if you see our former presidents now, you call them your excellencies. My president, our president. Even when they are not in office, even when they are even begging to be paid, even when they are even begging their predecessor to pay them their little allowances, we still accord them your excellencies, And we should not, the man, Amaju, have influence. Football, even in Nigeria, in Africa, we if we go in deep, we can see his influence in CAF. How that he pulled this nation to CAF, even to FIFA and the rest of them. He have experience. He has the experience, So but from what he said, I just see someone who is a fan, who wants to commit to like Mr. Godwin said, he will not have the executive power. He can only advise. He can only give his 10 kobo. The boys, most of these boys that are playing Super Eagles today are the people that he brought to the Super Eagles. The likes of Okoye, this guy in Lazio, what's his name again? He brought them. So he can have a one-on-one relationship with these players, and he can still be talking to them. He have left office does not mean that he cannot talk to people. So for me, I think let us not
Honorable, don't you also think you would have the influence of getting them into the squad?
My brother, let us not deny that fact. Even you, in your little space you have, you call people to put people at work, to put people in one place or the other. That is life. Life is interest. If you like this person, I beg, Chile, I beg. This guy good, oh, go and watch him. He's doing well. I believe you call him, he can do well. He must. He must. Even as I am now, right now, my people will call me that somebody's looking for. Help me talk to this person. I will still do it. Nigeria, we say is connection. So if you have somebody like Amadou Picnic and you are good, you refer you to the coach and they take you, no wahala. Like you said they call people out of emotion. No, I won't agree it's out of emotion. Most times we need maturity in our camps, So that's why you see that sometimes they will call Musa to the camp, not because he wants to play. I think our last Nation Cup 2013 that we won, we had senior players that were there. They were not playing 90 minutes, but they have the maturity and the experience to guide the young ones. In our last AFCON, when they take off Ekong, you see Ekong does not sit. He stands to see how we can help the young ones on the field. So the simple truth is that we need this experience. Let us not blow it out of proportion. If we have people that can help our legends. Okay, a few weeks ago, before the World Cup, FIFA honored our own very legend, Jejo Kocha. So if that man is saying that I called Iwobi, I told him he's dribbling too much, he's holding the ball too much, release the ball on air. We should not play it out of proportion. He says because it's his cousin. We need their input. We know that in them putting their mouth or getting involved, there is one way or the other they might not get it right. But please, let us not blow it out of proportion. Let us trust that in the next Nation Cup, we get it, as he said. In the next World Cup, we are there, not just to be there, to get to the finals. Because Morocco got to the semi-final the last time, so that we can have a good presence there. That is only what I will say.
Thank you very much, Honorable. I'll come to you, Comrade Soko. After listening to all that Honorable have said, I still stand on the ground that with these guys always being around, they'll always have influence. But now we don't know the rate of this influence, be it negative, be it positive. Do you still think we need to have them this close to the team? Seeing what had happened during the course of the qualifiers for the World Cup that Nigeria didn't go for, because we saw how if I want to take us back as far back as 2006, that Nigeria missed on the World Cup, I think in Germany. We have our stadium there here in Abuja where guys play the qualifiers and you are getting the results. From nowhere, somebody somewhere in the hem of affairs said they should take it to Kano so that the game will go round, so that everybody will feel it. And that was the day we lost our points. That was the day we lost the points that did not take us to that World Cup. Don't you think if we have guys like this who have strong influence in the team, it has a way of also deterring some of the plans, even of the coaches? Comrade Soko.
Okay, thank you very, very much, Mr. El Rafiki. To be honest, I partially want to agree with Honorable Kopan from the perspective of the fact that the statement, life president, I think that's not, it's not the meaning that we are connoting. It's not what he actually meant. I think we have rightly blown it out of proportion. But there's a caveat. There's a reason why Nigerians are blowing it out of proportion. And the reason why Nigerians are blowing it out of proportion is because a lot of Nigerians are of the opinion and they are of the belief, including myself, that during the tenure of Amaju Pinnick, between 2014 and 2022, our football did not grow. We failed as a country when it comes to football. In 2016, there is this popular podcast where Mikel will be saying that he spent his own personal funds going to Rio de Janeiro, taking players to our Olympic Games. these are the controversies that have generated his tenure as the NFF boss. In 2018, qualified.
Comrade Soko, I like where you're moving towards. Now, if we see all these issues, don't you think we are right to think the way we are thinking?
Yes, that's why I'm saying I think the reason why it is okay for Nigerians to blow it out of proportion is because Nigerians are examining the leadership and the tenure of this particular man. I'm not done. In 2018, yes, we qualified for the World Cup, but we also saw how we had financial issues, how we exited in the group stage. Look at players, African teams putting out sterling performances in this recent World Cup. We did not see that in 2018. Going back to our own domestic league, what was the improvements that Mr. Amaju Pinnick made to our own domestic league? There are also allegations of financial misconduct. There are allegations that people gave this man $8.4 million that he could not account for. This is not even allegations. There were Ogborodu Stadium. We all saw how it ended, having spent almost $1.2 million. Coming forward, he spoke about this Joanna player. What was the input, or what is the input of NFF on the developmental profile of this player? Yes, he went to AIK, and now he has been signed by Brighton. Did NFF put a dime in his proud development? Now NFF is going to keep tabs. So I think that when you examine the performances, the antecedents of Amaju Pinnick, I don't think that anybody, any Nigerian would want him to be the life president of NFF. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Comrade Soko. Thank you, Godwin, for explaining what life president means. So, but like I said, like I stated earlier, with the case of the president of the Nigerian Football Supporters Club, then now we don't even know. In fact, there was a time I was in the stadium to watch a game, and the two factions of the supporters club were fighting. Yes, because one said they are international, the other one said they are the real people. So we need to get these things clear. And like that's why I say thank you, Godwin, for giving us a clear indication as to what that word means. Because we have seen this man's antecedents, do you understand me? And coming out to speak in that manner is like saying we're not moving anywhere. Okay, at this point we want to move to something we waited over 4 years for. Over 4 years we waited for it, and today it has come. As a matter of fact, from today we'll be playing the second round of the FIFA World Cup. I'm going to ask you, Godwin. I just want two teams that impressed you the most in the course of this World Cup.
Wow. Okay. Let's start from say the African team. People that stood up their ground. For me, I would say, what was the team that played Spain again? The country that played Spain?
Spain, Cape Verde.
Cape Verde. Yeah, that's that country for me, especially their keeper. That guy stood out. It was like, you remember when we once watched Shaolin Soccer? That guy was virtually everywhere.
He was the man of the match.
Yes. And then the second team for me, I would have said France, but no. Let me give it to Germany. Because it's...
Germany, they are bad people.
It's actually...
They are bad people. They played Saudi Arabia in one of the World Cup, I think 2002 World Cup or thereabouts,
right.
and scored 8. These same people went to Brazil, in Brazil's home, in the semifinals, I think semifinals, yes, and beat Brazil 7-1. And then you scored Curacao. Okay, the small nation decided to just equalize, make it not be like said you don't even get anything at all. You know, I was holding my phone and I saw Curacao scored and I saw 1-1. All the social media was agog. I'm telling you, before I say Jack Robinson, boom, you started saying 1, 2, 3. I don't know what is in this German team that when they hit you, they hit you big time.
They can't tell like water for people.
When they hit you big time. And Comrade Soko, I come to you. Please, with joy in your face. I want to see that smile on your face. With joy in your face. I want two teams that touched you in this World Cup?
Yeah, I didn't get you. Please come again.
2 teams that impressed you in this World Cup, that has impressed you thus far in this World Cup.
Okay. First off, I think I want to agree with Mr. Godwin on this. Our own African brothers, our African teams, they actually impressed me a lot. Cape Verde, Morocco was actually really impressive. I think I've never seen African play like the way the Moroccans played. I think even Senegal gave France a very, very tough time. We saw Ghana winning last night, and we also saw how Cape Verde was able to withstand the almighty Spain. So I think that our own African teams have performed wonderfully well.
Thank you very much, Komisoko. My country did not disappoint me, and everybody's wondering which country is that. Before they started the World Cup, we said since Nigeria is not good, everybody choose your country, and I chose Cape Verde. Okay. I know Cape Verde. You see what we did to Spain? Showed them, and the goalkeeper, I think, is 40 years old, and didn't start professional football until he was 25 years old, and he's living his dream at the moment. And like we said when we started the sports segment, from just 50,000 followers on social media to millions right now. As that guy is, as it is right now, the guy can run for president in Cape Verde and he will win. Okay, but there's something, like I said it in my introduction, it was Messi scored a hat-trick, his first hat-trick in the World Cup, and the social media was agog. Mbappe, everybody said, Mbappe will not do anything. Mbappe lived up to expectation. Harry Kane did the same. Haaland did the same. And everybody expected one man to also do the same. I know after all those guys finished playing and scoring, the pressure was now on the one we call CR7, Cristiano Ronaldo, to also live up to expectation. But if you watch that game against DR Congo, you would think Ronaldo is playing against DR Congo, because as if there was no Portuguese player on that field playing for this guy. If you watch France play, you see how many of the passes got to Mbappe from Olise alone. Same thing applies to Messi, same applies to Kane, same applies to Haaland, but he got to Portugal, and the assist king of assists, the one that had 20 has broken the record of the assists, could not play one direct ball to Ronaldo. Bernardo Silva was nowhere to be found. Neto was running around. Nobody could understand. And a lot of people said, if DR Congo had played with all their hearts, they'd have beaten that Portuguese team yesterday. But that aside, I want to bring something now to Dr. Israel. Dr. Israel, clear your throat, because this is coming to you. A tackle was made by Messi, and you and I know there is nobody else that would receive that tackle that will not take the card with the color red. Explain to us why this wasn't a red card, Dr. Israel.
Raphael.
I like how you started with very long.
Let me tell you, first of all, when you are making a call for a reckless tackle or a dangerous tackle, you are going to check the view from the other view angle.
Which angle are we looking at?
Now, from this angle, okay, it shows a dangerous tackle from Lionel Messi. If you turn the camera from the other side, or you play the video gradually, the referee will judge it as was not intentional, or it's a mistake from, or a careless tackle. I'm coming now.
Dr. Israel, how do you say wait in Delta? Now, you said it's not intentional. There are a lot of tackles that are not intentional. Everybody that goes for a tackle goes for a ball and end up maybe a player or whatsoever.
I agree with you. Wait now, I have not given my verdict on the tackle. You just allow me to just give my verdict on the tackle. Now, from the video played, it shows 3 interpretations: a dangerous tackle, a careless tackle, and a reckless tackle. Now, if my own issue with the tackle is the referee did not call call or the VAR did not call the incident. Whether it is careless or reckless, it was not reviewed. That's where I have issues with it. That's why people are saying the tackle will have warranted a card. So for me, maybe the referee saw it as a reckless tackle. But now,
look at this
from the video, from this angle, it shows a dangerous tackle, which should be a set-off offense, which is a red card. So for me, the fault is not from the referee, rather it's from the VAR. So from the VAR angle, they did not do well. Because the VAR was supposed to call back the attention of the referee on that incident, which means it was, let me judge them by oversight. So I but if I should score the referees and the VAR, they have done well. But for that incident, maybe it was oversight and they did not see it. So let me just crucify them for now.
You are allowed to crucify them. We'll take it. I come to you, Honorable, before we move to another segment of this show. Honorable, the African teams have played. South Africa lost, Senegal lost, Tunisia lost, Cape Verde drew, Egypt drew, Congo drew, what's it called? Algeria lost, Ghana won, Morocco drew, and of course the last team, Cote d'Ivoire, won. Having this number of teams that have lost and that drew games, in your prediction, which African team do you think will be going on first?
God will bless Mexico. God will bless Mexico for me.
Oh, what's the Mexican name? What's the Mexican name?
El Ocupa.
El Ocupa.
El Ocupacino. Yes.
I was on my own. Somebody named me Raffaello, so I just held on to it.
And for today, I have chosen Okupachi as my Czech name.
You are from Czech today.
I'm from Czech Republic. I also want to say God will bless Congo. God will bless Congo. God will bless Congo. Congo is the best African team so far. I don't know why you are calling other people Congo. You don't know what Congo did to us. To play against the best midfielders in the world, the three best midfield players in the world. And there was no offensive passes
they had no
to one
pass.
Of the deadly.
No direct pass to Ronaldo.
No direct pass to one of the deadliest striker in the world. God will bless Congo. And I'm in a hurry to see that South Africa is home. I'm in a hurry because they have jobs at home to go and take care of.
Secure, right?
The shop, the supermarkets are closed. They have to go back to their jobs. So I'm trusting that Czech will do a very good job this evening. For the African team, apart from, I didn't like Ghana yesterday, to be honest. I watched the first half, it was boring. It was so bad. I had to go. I was surprised. I woke up and I saw that they had one goal and that they won that match, but Ghana didn't do well. Same thing with South Africa.
For 6 minutes thereabout.
Yes. They were playing like people that they ordered from Temu. Ghana, like an order from Temu. Apart from that, I think the other African countries did very well. Senegal did extremely well, but in the game of football, it happened and they had late goals. For the Messi tackle, I think at least that should be a card. Is it a red card? I wouldn't say it's a red card though, even though it was not a good tackle. But then the intentions and it was a very soft offense, even though it's shown like this. Yes, even if he got a red card at that point, he had already scored one. Some people's goal did not even have an attempt on target. So you cannot say that again.
Okay.
For this second round, I want Mexico. I want Morocco to proceed. I want Senegal to win. I want Cape Verde to be the surprise package in this World Cup because they really tried. I know Congo is going to proceed because they are doing extremely well. For the World Cup so far, England have shown capacity. They really tried a lot yesterday. I'm expecting Spain to bounce back. I'm expecting Portugal to also bounce back. They will do well. The setup for Portugal was a problem in the sense that the Nigerian match they played was a very, very big blow for the coach, because he now have to drop most of his players back because of the intensity of how African nations play their match, so that he will not concede more goals. But again, while doing that, he cut off the supply to his best, one of the best strikers in the world.
Much, Honorable.
So I think in this second round it will be a better football.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Viewers will go on a very, very short break, after which we'll come to the next segment before we wrap it up for today.
Welcome back, viewers. If you're just joining us, this is Today on ACNN, the special sports segment, which is a Thursday sports special on Today on ACNN. I tell you, it has been a very cold morning for us here in the Federal Capital Territory. And with this, we would launch into the weather reports for today.
Good day, and welcome to the ACNN Global Weather Forecast for Thursday, June 18th, 2026. I'm your narrator for today's Global Outlook, tracking major weather shifts around the world. We begin our coverage in Africa, where a mix of intense thunderstorms and extreme heat continues to dominate the meteorological landscape today. Across the continent, thunderstorms continue to affect much of West and Central Africa, bringing significant rainfall and high humidity to several communities in these regions. North Africa remains persistently hot and dry under clear skies, while East Africa is experiencing scattered showers and intermittent cloudy conditions. In Europe, warm summer weather dominates the southern regions, providing clear skies and ideal conditions for those along the Mediterranean coast. However, northern countries are experiencing cooler temperatures and occasional rainfall. Central Europe remains unsettled with isolated afternoon thunderstorms expected today. Across Asia, active monsoon conditions continue across South and Southeast Asia, bringing widespread rainfall and localized flooding concerns to vulnerable areas. East Asia also remains quite cloudy today, with periods of heavy rain forecast to move across the region throughout the next 24 hours. North America will experience warm summer temperatures, though residents in the eastern regions should stay alert for scattered thunderstorms developing this afternoon. South America remains wet across its tropical areas, while the southern regions enjoy notably cooler and more stable weather conditions to end the week. Australia remains mostly stable and sunny, with only occasional light showers affecting the southern coastal regions and nearby island chains. Now turn our attention to Nigeria. Active weather systems are bringing significant moisture and varied conditions across the nation's diverse regions today. Thunderstorms and rainfall are expected across the southwest, southeast, south-south, and north-central regions. Prepare for wet conditions and localized flooding. The northwest remains partly cloudy, while the northeast experiences warmer temperatures and a few isolated showers later in the day. That concludes our global and regional update for today. Stay safe, stay informed, and thank you for watching ACNN. We wish you a wonderful and productive day ahead.
All right, viewers, there you have it. It promises to be a wet weather for us here in Nigeria. So do well to get your umbrellas while you go out, and just ensure you get yourself well covered. And with this, we would be launching into the Bible reading segment. Have you heard the Bible being read in Pidgin before? We would come to you with that this morning.
for today now from Romans chapter 2, from verse 1 to verse 16. And this now the letter when Apostle Paul write give the Jewish people when they stay for Rome, those when believe in Baba God. I will start my reading from verse 1. Person when they judge others not get excuse for waiting e dey do, and it no matter who im be, because when you judge others and you dey do the same thing wey dem dey do, you dey condemn yourself. We know say God not dey lie when he dey judge people when they do bad things. You when they do things when you say make others not do, you think say you go escape God judgment? Maybe una dey take God kindness, patience, and endurance as yeye things. Una no know say God dey kind because he wan make una turn from sin come meet am. But una stubbornness and strong heart no let una turn from sin come meet God. So una dey make una punishment many more. For the day where God go judge the world, because he na judge when no dey support bad things, God go pay every man according to wetin he do. God go give life when no dey end to the people when they do good things, when want glory, honor, and long life. But he go show his vaccination and punish those when because of long throats reject the truth, come they do bad things. Anybody where they do bad thing, whether it be Jew, Gentile, or Nigeria, the person must suffer and receive punishment. But God go give glory, honor, peace to anybody where they do good, whether you be Jew, Gentile, or Nigeria. Because God go judge everybody the same way. Even though the Gentile people not get Moses' law, God still they punish them when they sin. So Jew people when get the law, when they sin, now the same law, God go take judge them. Because you dey hear the law, not me say you good for God eye. But now when you do wetin the law talk, now you take be good person for God eye. The Gentile people not get the law, but they use their sense, do wetin the law talk, and that one don't turn law for them. Even though they not know Moses' law, the way them they behave show say wetin Moses write for the law, they their heart, and their mind they tell them say these things they right, and he go condemn or free us from wetin we do. So just as I preach give una, now say it go be for that day, when God go judge all the secret things when they people heart through Jesus Christ when be pikin. This na the letter when Apostle Paul write give the Jewish people for Romans chapter 2.
All right, so welcome back, viewers. There you have it. It's quite an insightful reading there, and I tell you, it comes with a whole new vibe. You know, when you watch, you listen to the Bible being read in the local palace, it brings a new revelation to the Word of God. And I think it will be a wrap on this segment, and we'll come to you with a wrap of the show.
It's beautiful to hear the scripture being read in pidgin English.
Truly.
It drives the message directly. You know, like somebody said, if we are being taught mathematics and the likes in our local languages, maybe we'll understand it better.
Truly.
Maybe a lot of people will get the message now better when they hear.
Just the way the Chinese does it in their country.
So that is the scripture being read to you in pidgin English, and I hope you got the message. I want to use this opportunity to thank Honorable Victor Okupa, the one who is now El Okupa. And I also want to thank Dr. Israel, who doesn't have a name yet. We'll soon name him later. I also want to thank the chef, the one I call the chef, Comrade Abraham Soko. We will still give him a name. We don't know his country yet. But when we find out his country, we'll give him his own name. And also not to forget the big man in the house, co-pilot Godwin Ojiri, making things. In fact, after reading the scripture, he was just smiling from ear to ear. So the message got home. And to you viewers, Without you guys, we cannot be here. Want to appreciate you. Want to tell you that please go ye into the world and be good. At all times, do good. At no point in time should anybody have to look to God to report you to Him. Until we meet again, same time, same space. I don't waka.